You have arrived at Laughbox, the podcast for the Association of Applied and Therapeutic Humor. We are so excited you're here. Join us for episode 129 with Jim Bob Williams, Katie B, and our special guests, Danny Septriani and Ulwan Fakri of the Indonesian Humor Institute. Yay!
Welcome to Laughbox, the official podcast of the Association for Applied and Therapeutic Humor. I'm Jim Bob Williams.
And I'm Katie B.
And today we have gone on the other side of the planet from where we are. And we're going to be talking with Ulwan Fakri and Danny Septriani. And we're going to be talking about humor, and in particular, of the humor studies that they've been doing in Indonesia. And I'm fascinated by it. And I will confess, I did not know much about Indonesia because I'm an American and we're very insulated. I didn't know there were 275 million people.
No?
I did know it was the largest country in Southwest Asia. Okay.
What?
I mean, it's the United States has 330 million. So, we're practically the same size country. So it's just amazing. Please, let's start. And Ulwan, if you could talk first. How did you discover humor? How did you discover humor studies? And how do you use humor to help people?
Okay. Firstly, I'd like to thank you, Jim Bob and Kathy, for inviting us to the EATH podcast. This is a huge opportunity for me to be at least in an episode with other fellow and seniors there from EATH around the world. So actually, I starting to discover humor around when I was in high school. I do remember how immoral I was because I used to take the TV remote from my parents just to watch my favorite sitcom. Yeah, we started a little fight there, but they let me to watch my favorite sitcom at that time. And then as the time goes, I discovered stand-up comedy just being a thing in Indonesia in 2011. So it's quite new. And when I was in college, I tried to do stand-up, and therefore I used stand-up as for my undergraduate thesis. I studied Jerry Seinfeld and his special. I'm telling you for the last time. At that time, humor was not an interesting theme for a study, including in my campus. So another blessing that humor gives me that I can proceed the exam and my thesis faster than the other because it's a new theme. Like no one discovers this, although I studied a 1998 special in 2014, but this is still a new theme. And then at that time, I didn't know that humor can be therapeutic. I just think that it is for purely entertainment. But ATH Karen's book got my eye wide open that humor is actually helping for entertaining, influencing, and also for being therapeutic. And that's what I do. Maybe Mr. Danny will tell furthermore that when we join the ATH, the Humor Academy, we do some project on how to use humor as a therapeutic, especially in Danny's field, in the text-related team.
May I ask a question, Ulwan? Which book was it? Karen Buxman, and which book was it?
Leading with Love, the first thing we discover those big team that Karen encouraged us to do humor.
Yep.
And then we also have what's so funny about nursing and other ATH fellow Mary Kay. The first book that she wrote became the guidebook for the level 1, but we also have her book when he writes her experience with her grandchildren using
Yes.
humor
Yes.
to maximize
That's
the
true.
game.
The
Yeah.
Humor Academy textbook.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Who knew
Yes,
textbooks
so
could be so much fun?
yeah, we never know that a textbook actually can be this good, this
Mm.
interesting. Every chapter is been interesting to be discussed about in a level 1. So we really enjoy operating the Mary Kay's
Nice.
book.
And
good.
Ulwan, you are in year 1 of the Humor Academy, right?
Yeah, we both already graduated
I'm
in it's okay in 2023.
Okay. Oh,
All
last
right,
year.
excellent.
Yeah, last year we started in a pandemic moment,
Uh-huh.
fully on Zoom. First
Yes.
thing in ATH history.
Yes. Yeah, me too, during the pandemic. I joined the Humor Academy a year after you because I'll graduate next year.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
But you
So-
hosted more podcasts than us.
Oh, we got lucky that Chip
Yes.
Lutz started this podcast. Just the timing was just right because he wanted to let it go and we wanted to keep it going.
Yeah, this is what Kathy has been great so far helping us and ADH.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, Danny, tell us about you.
Okay, I found humor when I'm in the childhood. So I just like to read funny stories and then joke stories. I just love to read the book just for my own benefit at that time. After that, I have a lot of interest when I read a lot of books regarding biography of the stand-up comedian or comedian. And then after that, I try to study first about the comedy, humor, and stand-up comedy. So after that, I just collect just for my own personal interest subject. And then thereafter, I found that it is helped me to resilience during my work because my work is like in accounting and taxations. So for me, it's a little bit stressful. So I just trying to looking for how about the academics, not only the practice for the humor. And then after that, I see that the humor also can be a use for a communication to improve the communication skills, and then not only the therapeutic, but also I'm able to use during my teaching in university because my subject is accounting and taxation, so it's like a boring topics. So I try to bring infuse or inject humor during my lecture. And then after I used for my lecture, I do it for a negotiation or for settlement during the audits and during the audits. When in taxation area, there is a lot of challenging discussions because the intense for the dispute is high. So I try to getting the trust by using humor. And then also I try to break the barriers using the humor. So after that, I came back again using humor for the resilience. Because I know that the humor not only able to use for myself benefit. So now I try to share how the humor can help to cope the stress or anxiety or depressions. So maybe this is just another subject, not only the psychologist or psychotherapist, because I will not get into the other expertise. So I just try to use humor, how to see the tragedy is become the comedy. What we need is only the time. I try to inject that sometimes the people try to there is a temporary problems and they take the permanent solutions. So I inform them that the tragedy plus time is comedy.
Yes.
So what we need is only time. But sometimes other people see there is no chance about their temporary problems. So what they take is the permanent solutions. So I will campaign this regarding the mental health issues now is uprise, not only in the world, but also in Indonesia. Because there is a lot of statisticians, research mentioned that a lot of students of university now getting depressions.
Wow.
So now myself and Ulwan try to campaign in 2024 is focus on resilience. So it start from my personal resilience and then try to minimize the dispute. And then after that, now we go back again to the resilience.
Oh, that's
So
beautiful.
my first journey ATH is actually a long time ago by the book Mary Kay. And then after that, there is a blessing in disguise for the pandemic. That's I can join during the Zoom. Although until now, after we graduate, I have a difficulties and all want is there is a humor academy. So I have to explain about the humor academy and then why I need the certification, what kind of the program that I train. It's because in Indonesia and maybe in some of the countries, they only think humor is only about the funny things.
Yeah.
They don't appreciate about the academics or the research or the how to that humor can be used in every subject. Yes, we need the intersection between what is your expertise or what is your subject and then your experience and combine with humor. That's it, I think. I think that's just a short about my personal in touch with humor and ATH.
That's
Also,
great. And Danny,
Kathy,
you,
J-Bob,
yeah,
you know what? We both printed our CHP in our name card, and then Danny likes to distribute them to his friends, fellows. And one thing that they often ask about is what is CHP? What kind of title is this?
Yes.
Is it real title, academic title? Then we try to explain the certified humor professional is la 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 gitu. And they finally get it and sometimes have a bit laughs because maybe it's the weird things that they first expect and then it's actually academics. It's actually you learn for 3 years to get this. And this is very new, not only for us but also people around us.
That's wild. I came to humor through a similar route. I was an engineer. Again, a very boring profession historically. They say engineers are accountants, but without the fancy clothes. But I also got involved for a time in regulatory compliance, doing compliance audits. And humor was a phenomenal way to reduce the tension in the room, to let people know I wasn't there to get them. I was there to help them help their operations and make life less stressful in the long run. It was just phenomenal. So again, we discovered this on different sides of the world. That blows my mind. Okay, so tell us about the Indonesian Humor Research Institute. How did you come to found the IHIK? Well, let's see. And that's ihik3.com on the internet. But tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's actually called ihik, the sound that we make when we laugh. You have LOL.
Yes. Oh.
And we have some variations like yeah.
I love that.
That's wonderful.
That's 3 times. That's 3 times.
Yeah, and it repeated 3 times. Because if you only do once, that's how it is.
That's so great.
Yes.
It's
All right,
chuckles.
so
It's
let's go
like
back. So
chuckles, yeah.
let's go back so we can make sure that this is all heard because it's so
Yes.
valuable. So
Yeah.
IHIK is said ihik, and that
Yes.
means that's the sound in Indonesia that is heard when people are laughing. But you must
Yes.
say it 3 times. Ihik,
Yes.
ihik, ihik.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, similar like that. Because if you only said it once,
Can we
if
hear
you only
you?
said it once, it's like a hiccup.
Oh.
So you have to do it 3 times.
Can we hear it from you guys? The way that you would say it?
Yeah, it's hic hic hic. Yeah.
That's great.
And other founders try to compose something from that name. Yeah, it's Indonesian. It is an acronym for Institut Humor Indonesia Kini, or if we translate it in English, it could be like Contemporary Indonesian Humor Institute. Danny founded this organization based on the Humor Studies Library. Danny managed the thousands and more collections of humor books, magazines, and DVDs. And he also got rewarded for the world record for the first humor library in Indonesia, also in the world. And we try to develop many things from those library. I help Danny here as the researcher, and our baby steps, we can call it that, is that to distribute more, to educate more Indonesians on how to appreciate humor, not only for the entertainment. So we started writing articles, we started writing books, and we have some workshops, all of them delivered in Indonesian language, from the resources, from the books, from the conference, from the humor academy class that we got from you guys in English. Because we have language barrier here, try to distribute this information as easy as other people can chew. And Danny said to you before, we started many things, but mainly now we focus on the resilience team. Because just last year, we met a dean from reputable Indonesian university. He said that 60% of his new students got depression even the class has not started. It's
Wow. So
Wow.
they're entering
Yeah.
university and they're already depressed.
Yeah,
Wow.
because we have many steps to enter university. We have tests, we have maybe financial problems, we have different, what we call that, regulation from the government constantly changing, and it makes the high school students get more anxious to continue their future. So this is a scary fact, we can say, but we try our best to help our society through humor perspective.
How is Indonesia in general in terms of humor and happiness? Do you know, as a country, do they talk about the happiness of Indonesia out there?
Yeah, and maybe later on Mr. Danny can add. I forgot the exact rank, but we are not in the top global happiness country, but we try to, but actually the word happiness, like at work or for daily, we heard it more actually in recent years.
Okay.
And this concern was brought, we have a fellow HR practitioner, and in 2022, when we wrote Humor at Work book, we discussed with him, this HR practitioner, and he was shocked because instead of using happiness at work, we try to use humor at work. This is like what we said to you guys. Humor, basically we said we look humor as an entertainment, and entertainment doesn't match with the office, with the workplace culture, etc. So he advised that we use happiness at work. Our core is always in humor. We believe that we have different perspective, and especially for humor, we like to encourage, advise this thing not only as an entertainment. So based on that purpose, we still have the humor at work title. Despite what we aim is also being happy at work, being communicative, being resilient at work, and etc. Mr. Danny, any words you may want to add about
Yeah,
happiness in Indonesia?
yeah. For me, is that happiness is too subjective, so it's too wide. That's why we use the humor at work, because if you can inject the humor, then you will get the happiness as well. Yeah, that's why, because I'm worried if I use the happiness at work, so it's too wide the discussions. So I narrow down to the humor at works. Then I'm able to apply that humor in every subject. That's my core. Yeah. After I learn from ATH, what I learn and all one learn from ATH, it's how to implement it. Before that, it's only the idea and idea, just reading. And then when I see that everybody apply it, then I said to Ulwan that we have to apply it, because it's no use if we are not apply it. That then we have execute when ATH use Zoom, and then previous time when the pandemic, we used Zoom also to execute the first program. So what we learned a lot from ATH is how to execute the idea, how to implement the idea. That's before that we are do not have the courage to implement it, because it's like everybody said, why humor to be studied? For example, that's Ulwan said in Indonesia, humor is only for the comedian and for entertainment.
Yeah.
There are no place for ordinary people like us to show about or to explain about humor, because they said that this is for the comedian and then for the entertainment industry. Now, based on the ATH, I learned that humor can be touched by ordinary people like us.
We also like to giving a bit warning how trivial humor is, but also how impactful, both on positive and negative way. Because we have several years ago, we have, or maybe constantly, we have issues about humor. What do you call that? When we use humor negatively to harass others, the news instantly went viral, and it costs for the employee, it costs for the victim, of course, and also for the organization. They got bullied, they got canceled, and etc. So humor from a trivial, it's a trivial, but it can be huge. It can be impactful both positive and negative way. So we try to remind them, like, this is, you have to manage this as well.
Humor is a tool and has to be used carefully. And
Yes.
so, okay, how would you help a student that comes in and they say they come and they say they're depressed, have a lot of anxiety. How would you introduce them to humor, or to teach them how to make humor part of their life?
Okay. I will answer one. That's the first that we have to inject to the university lecturer. We have to explain to them, for example, that how to teaching with humor, using with their difficult subject. So I give the examples from my perspective. From my perspective, that I teaching a taxation subject. And then I also inform them that I also, as a panic attack survivor, I have an anxiety problem also. That is the first time that I ever got. And then I use humor to release my tension during the panic attack. So I see the funny movie when I got the panic attack, how to cope with my panic attack at that time. So this is just share my knowledge and experience first to the lecturer, after that to the students. Because the lecturer is the first they interact with the students. So they don't know how to apply the humor in the class, because they afraid about their dignity, will turn down when they use the humor. And then because they are expert in the subject, so they do not know how to apply or use humor in the class.
Mm.
So I just try them to make a basics strategies using humor. Not need not to be the expert to be the clown.
Yeah.
Just to make the class to break the barriers between the lecturer and the students.
Yeah.
Just something like that.
Well, you
What
know,
you can add?
if the teacher can create humor in the class will bond better. There'll be a tighter class, and the teacher and the students will also have a better relationship.
Yeah.
So that's
Exactly.
amazing. Okay. So before we move on to Ulwan, I'm so curious. So I don't, but hypothetically, I teach tax law. It's not true. It's not true. Not true.
Okay, hypothetically, yeah.
Hypothetically,
Yes, yeah. It's an example.
The courage,
So
the courage to having that imagination is also great, Kat, because I'm not imagining that for myself.
so I teach tax law, and I am the most dry, serious teacher in the world. How do you help me be more funny?
Okay, so the first time in the class, they say, so I say to the student that taxation is not difficult. Paying taxes is difficult. So
Nice.
to come to the class that don't be afraid, taxation is not difficult. The difficult part is paying the taxes. So in this class, we are not paying the taxes. We discuss the taxes. That's only one part of the my started jokes.
Yeah, that's great though. It's great. All right, Ulwan, you're gonna add to this?
Yeah. And we then realize that actually to help the teacher, the lecturers to be more humorous at class, we don't need to always deliver joke. We can use incorporated humor strategy to the curriculum. And this is what we are doing now. We are writing a book about teaching with humor, but not only a joking formula, but this is also inspirations in applying humor to the curriculum. We curated many books here from many disciplines, and until now, several important notes. For example, we can use humor on the test. Like we found this interesting concept injecting jest into tests, and this is applicable for any disciplines, for any course. Like for example, you can use easy or interesting announcement to announce the test. Also, we can use the funny instructions and even funny options in multiple choice quiz. Yeah, those are the kind of concepts that we would like to advise to our teachers, our lecturers, because as long as Danny and I study here from elementary school to uni, we never have those kind of injecting just into test concept.
Yeah.
This is a huge mission for us to educate the educator,
Yes.
but
But you
for
can
the
impact a lot of lives this way.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
yeah,
I had a professor of thermodynamics. Again,
okay.
not a subject that is wildly humorous, but what he would do is, if he had the name of a fictitious company, okay, he would give it a silly name, or he would have citing a pretend article with the names of professors that were selling. And it was that incongruity where you were expecting to see something serious on the test, and then you see something silly, and then you're boom, it relaxes the student. When you're mentioning but he would always, on his multiple choice tests, if there were
Yeah.
4 choices, you always knew one of them was going to be tremendously silly. and you
Yeah.
looked forward to it. Because, okay, I don't have to worry about guessing 1 out of 4 because I know one is going to be so absurd. I really only have to narrow it down to 3.
Yes.
Dr.
Yeah.
Abbott
Yes.
is amazing. People can use humor in the sense of cartoons, to illustrate points.
Exactly.
Have you ever advised a professor to come in and wear a clown nose, for example?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
We are not yet used that.
We
But
have
I will
never,
consider that.
yeah, once that.
My nose is far away. It's very sad. Can't join the party.
There's still a long way to go to that point, Jimbo, but
Yeah.
we're trying to.
You know,
Yeah.
I'd love for you to have a seminar and invite professors from all over there and just have you'd have a wonderful time entertaining them, and then they would be able to be more effective when they went out and teach. Because there are a lot of studies that show most people's favorite teachers are the ones that made them laugh.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
Yep.
and
Yep,
the
yep, yep.
oft-quoted statistic that if you have a humorous introduction to something that people will remember, it increases retention. Academically, some say that you'll retain up to 23% more information if you see a humorous video before you engage in a learning effort like a lecture or a laboratory. So it's just
Right.
it's so now. Okay, I have a question. I used to think that I grew up in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I thought I lived in a pretty diverse city.
Yeah.
But I understand Indonesia has such a wide range of ethnic groups and languages and cultures there that I don't know. I really don't know what diverse is. So when you're trying to reach people with so many different cultures, with a broad cultural background, how does that affect the humor that you pick?
Okay. So we learned this from the Humor Academy again because we have no one to tell us about that here. And we always try to prepare the material, what we are going to say and etc. related to the affiliative humor.
Yes.
That we'll look for theme, we will look for a topic that's not ethnical related, political related, religion related, and gender related sometimes, and etc. When we once got to have workshop for lecturer in the Islamic university. So for at that time we try to, many of them are men, mostly in 50 and above. The concern that the lecturer here, that jokes preference, but some of them also said that sometimes they use it in a improper way to tease what we call that colleagues or etc. We try to make sure for that. We put some cartoons, several themes, and one of them related to the sexist thing. And we would like to ask them, and we ask them which one you think is the funniest. And it is related that they pick the sexist ones. So from that point, we try to inform to them that this is actually dangerous for teachers to be said, and this is not preferable for example, like women and etc. So we started to make them realize that humor is a diverse thing. Humor is a powerful, as a tool, is a powerful, but it also can be destructive. So from that small experiments, from that small situations that we try to, hopefully they got to learn. Baby steps are also steps, right?
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully they will appreciate more about the humor itself.
And you're doing it from such a conscious perspective. To be a country that has all the religions, for let's say, I'm exaggerating, of course, but a lot of different viewpoints and such a huge population culturally. I've experienced here in the US that I can make a mistake by accident and offend someone by pure accident. And then I have to walk backwards to work and debrief on what happened, right? Ideally with that person. Experiencing that in the size of your country, but also you guys are the pioneers. So that also is so strong that you're the first to be talking about this. Wow. Wow.
Thank you.
You need to sponsor a symposium and
Yeah.
wow. All right, so there's a question I like to ask, and this is because we're the Association for Applied and Therapeutic Humor. Our motto is humor helps, but there are a lot of different ways we can create humor or experience humor. And one thing that all people have in common is that they have to get through Thursday, just a typical day of the week. What advice would you give someone that was having a rather difficult Thursday? What's one thing or a few key things that they can do to make their life better through humor?
Okay, for me,
Yeah.
I'd like to advise him or her to get to know that any humor is actually helpful based on the self-enhancing concept. It's okay to laugh in your head and don't bother to share to others, and at least they have a bit inside their head. So hopefully that's what constantly I'm doing. So self-enhancing humor, Danny also may add that this is huge for resilience, and we want to start it when we want to advise it for anyone here to appreciate more humor to get into their resilience. Any self-enhancing humor, Jimbo. For now, the awkward dead air for me, it's also fun.
Danny, did you want to add something about Thursday?
Yeah, okay. Mostly I will share funny meme or funny jokes or funny cartoon captions. So just to make them to face the Thursday difficult. Yeah.
Very nice.
You use that humor, use that laughter to break the stress cycle.
Exactly. Just share whatever that you think funny. Yeah, just share it to other people.
Yes, yes.
I know one thing I find interesting is that people will use humor to self-medicate, as it were, to treat their problems, but they don't recognize that it's medicine. What do? They turn on the TV, for a comedy show. They will go to a nightclub to hear a comic, or to see a funny play, or they'll read a humorous author that has funny stories there. So they're already using it to help themselves, but they don't see it from a holistic therapeutic perspective, that it's not something that's only for entertainment time. It's something that's can be used any given day.
Exactly.
So Danny and Juan, you are writing a book now. You're in the beginning stages of that, right?
Yeah.
And you've already written a book. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Exactly.
What's the title of the book that's already out there?
It's called Humor at Work. Indonesia, the subtitle is Kerja Gembira Usaha Berjaya, or we can translate it to Work Happily and Your Company Will Thrive.
I love that.
Yeah, that's one.
Mhm.
And in this book, we have three major themes. Firstly, we deliver what kind of positive effect of humor in the workplace. And then for the second, we share our experience in sharing with other organizations about humor, from banking through the NGOs.
Mhm.
And then At the third chapter, we put examples of how humor can backlash you and your company. It's not hard for us to put study case because almost every year a case related to humor in the workplace bad happenly. And then so those are the things that we put there, and we put some reference. Hopefully they won't repeat the same mistake. And this is the book that we share for free in our website in ihik3.com, ihik3.com. And also we have other books that already published, but this is the first theme that we are enthusiastically written and published related to the Humor Academy. We have so many examples, we have reference, we have quotes from our favorite mentors, favorite books along the way we learn. And hopefully this will help many organizations. And the ongoing project, it's about the Teaching with Humor book. Again, we are advising any lecturers, any teachers in Indonesia to use humor strategically, not only joke telling, funny storytelling, but we can use it, we can incorporate it into our curriculum, like using the test, using the study case, using the cartoon for discussion, and etc. So we are trying to curate it, the examples, the multidisciplines theme, and also hopefully it will sparks the idea to try to humor for teachers to try humor in their lectures. So far, we got one testimonials from those university we told you about. The lecturer was finally encouraged to use humor as a instructional survey. So she used funny instructions, and then she said that the instant reactions that she got from her students, they get laugh. And then she wrote us back through the social media, and wow, it's finally working. It's a huge steps for us.
Nice. Are you on social media? Where can we find you besides ihik3.com?
I personally own my account at Ulwan Fahri, ULWANFAKHRI. Not so familiar name for English speaking country.
It'll be in the notes.
Yeah.
But you're on
Okay.
Facebook and you're on LinkedIn, both of you, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we'll put those that in
we-
the notes. Say that one more
they-
time. Danny, wait, say that one more time. You cut out.
We also have the Instagram for ihik3. Yeah.
Instagram.
Those we
And-
share our journey, our insights, our books that we have in our library. So feel free to visit online or physically to Jakarta if you have time.
Yeah. Yes.
Love to.
Jakarta, please. And that's where you're located. You're in Jakarta.
Yeah.
Both of you.
Jakarta, Indonesia.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a life destination. That's a bucket list destination. Everybody needs to go to Indonesia at least once, right?
Yes. Yeah, please. And
At least
also,
our
I would
library,
like
right?
I would like to add my another project book is Leadership with Humor. Yeah, we will
Nice.
bring personal trait as become a leader. For example, creativity, critical thinking, resilience, and then that's we will combine with humor. Creativity with humor, critical thinking with humor, resilience. The leader must have a good resilience. Otherwise, because they have a lot of stress. So we will write a leadership with humor also, combined with the teaching with humor.
Wonderful. Nice.
Yeah.
17 years ya, Mr. Danny as a leader.
17 years,
I have
Danny.
experience. Yeah, 17 years as a leader, and then my partner support me to inject humor in my company, in my together company, so we can as a lab. I also able apply it as a lab, yeah, and then it works. It works. Yeah.
No.
Very nice. Very nice. That's awesome. We're going to say thank you and sign off for the podcast. And then if we want to talk for a couple minutes more, if we have time or whatever needs to happen, but we'll finish the podcast here now. Is there anything else? I was wondering if you want to share something in your own language for your audience.
Okay, I just encourage to Indonesian people to join the ATH, yeah, because it will be able to apply not only for ourselves but also for other people's, yeah.
Yeah,
Because I
it's
gain a lot.
funny.
I gain a lot. I
I
gain a lot
understood that.
from ATH. Yeah.
Yes. And as you
Ulwan?
said that, I understood that, and then I didn't understand the rest. So thank you for translating.
Ulwan, apa Ulwan?
Ya, buat orang-orang di Indonesia, rekan-rekan semuanya profesional di bidang apapun, silakan Humor Academy-nya ATH. Setidaknya Anda akan mendapatkan satu titel CHP yang bisa dimasukkan ke dalam kartu nama, dan ini akan membuat pembicaraan orang-orang yang baru Anda kenal. Kami sudah mencoba dan ya, it works.
Oh, phenomenal.
Awesome.
All right.
Well,
So-
Danny, it's been a pleasure. I met you both at the conference in Denver, but it's nice to see you here too. And
Thank
appreciate
you.
you very
Thank you,
much.
Kathy, Jim Bob.
Great.
Thank you,
Thank
Great
you.
talk
Kathy
to you.
B and Jim Bob. Really
Thank you so much.
appreciate for your time. Yeah. See you. Bye-bye.
So wait. Oh,
Oh,
okay. Bye. Yes. Bye. Yes.
This has been Laughbox, the official podcast of the Association for Applied and Therapeutic Humor. And we want to thank our guests, Danny Septriati and Ulwan Fakri, who joined us from Indonesia today to talk about the application of humor, especially in the academic world.
Yay.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Right.
Bye.
See you.
Bye.
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 Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for episode 129 with Jim Bob Williams, Katie B, and Danny and Ulwan of the Indonesian Humor Institute. Yay! Thank you very much.
Laughbox is a production of the Association for Applied and Therapeutic Humor. Visit us online at www.aath.org. Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or LinkedIn. Music by Gary Rubio. For more information, www.garyrubiomusic.com.